All right. Back again. Another live stream on Saturday. We are going to carpet a hallway. The reason I am recording this is because this hallway is kind of cool. We are going up to hard surfaces. We're going up to other carpeted areas. So there's a lot going on here. We can cover a lot in this video if you're wondering how to go ahead and stretch carpet in a hallway. So let's dive right in here. So the room I'm in right now, hardwood floor. We got the hallway here, which drops over to the top of the steps. And we come over here. If you can see it, we got two doorways here. So, as always, I do things a little bit different than other installers, but let's go ahead and get this piece unrolled. We'll start mapping things out, and you can follow my lead if you're a newbie and just figuring out how to do this on your own, or a new strategy to maybe make your work day go a little bit faster. Let's see if I can get you a decent view here. So I got the carpet laid out in the hallway. So I'm good wall to wall. Got a couple inches up this side wall right here, so I have something to work with. I need to remove the excess, have it drop over the edge here. Once we get this shaped out, we can go ahead and get down to business. Get some of this excess out of the way so we got some room to work. And are we back? Oh, Prestige Carpet's calling in right now, blocking the stream. He was actually here yesterday getting this all padded and ready for me today. So, got everything laid out, we're good to go. First things first, I'm gonna show you the doorway here. We're gonna do a turn and tack up to this hardwood, and then they actually had a matching metal threshold, which I am just gonna drop right back into place after I set this up. This house is on the market right now, so we're just here to dress the place up a little bit, help them get it under contract faster so they can get their money. So cut around the door jambs here, get them nice and even. Now, you can see I got the gap right here from the pad to the hardwood. Fold the carpet back right up to the hardwood and eliminate some of this excess carpet. Got the extra out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and roll it under now. So it butts right up to the hardwood. And this edge is a little bit janky here, so that's probably why they had the metal in place to hide that ugly edge. And like I said, I'm just gonna reuse that because it was clean, it's good to go. All right, boom. Right up against the hardwood. Just taking my electric tacker. We're gonna hold it in place with this. I'm gonna tuck the sides. And if we gotta remove any, we'll just trim it down, but it looks like we're gonna be okay for the tuck here. Get rid of some strings. Tuck this side. Now, let's go to the other end of the hallway. Follow me on down. I got the iron warming up right now, so it'll be good to go when I actually burn this seam. But before we get into cutting all that, I want to get the length of this hallway nice and tight. I know a lot of guys would actually do this just the opposite, but this is how I get down, so I'm going to show you exactly how I do these things. So you see right here, this is the opposite of where I just did that turn and tack in the doorway. So I want to get my length nice and tight on this. Crease this on, we're good to go. Let's jump back in the hallway here. You got an ugly glare going from that light. Let's try and mix this up a little bit. So, right here is right where I did the turn and tack first. I'm back at the beginning. I'm gonna get my tacker, not knock the camera over too much. And if any installers are watching, go ahead and share your thoughts on pouches. I hate the tool pouch on your hip. Prestige and I argue about that constantly. And I know I gotta get up and go back and forth a million times, just not a fan. Let me know if you rock those things. So I'm gonna tuck it in right here, get you a better shot of this. Boom. All right, so this is just a little closet door right here. I'm gonna open this up. I'm actually gonna end up carpeting this closet, but it's tiny. There's nothing going on, so I'm just gonna do a cut to fit, no pad or anything. So in the meantime, just gonna do a turn and tack in the doorway so it's nice and tight for my stretch. And I'll just throw a random scrap in there so I'm good to go. So same scenario, fold it under. All good there. Trimming the sides because it's a little hefty. That section's good to go. I'm gonna crease and go on this half because I'm gonna stretch hard the other way. Coming down my set wall here, I'm just gonna trim it down. I said in the previous video, you want to cut it about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch hefty. And then just tuck it in, get that nice pinch in between the baseboard and the tack strip. Eliminate any strings that may have been missed. We're just gonna keep continuing down this wall, and we'll go ahead and put this seam together at the end. Change your blade out on a regular basis if you're new to this too. A dull blade won't get you anywhere. Got a marble threshold in the bathroom doorway with a piece of tack strip behind it, so trimming right up to that same way, just treat it just like it is a baseboard. Let's get down to putting some seams together. Get this last little bit. Alrighty. Now for the seam. Try and get you a decent view of it here. If you are new to this, use a straight edge for this. If you've been doing this a while, you could absolutely get away with cutting it and putting it together like this. So the nab's falling down this way. I like to start with this edge first. Take your blade. We're gonna cut a nice straight line across. And all I'm doing is just tracing one of these lines going across the back in here. So boom, everything's clean, not an ugly edge. Now this is the hallway piece. I want to put the hallway piece under. I'm going to overlap this with the nice clean edge. And I just like to make little incisions, marking the carpet, spreading the nap while I do it so I'm not making ugly spots in the seam. And I pull this part back out. And I connect the dots with everything. So you got little incisions all the way down that I had made, if you could see those. I'm going to take my blade, I'm actually going to swap it out and make sure it's extra sharp. Just go from line to line. But if you were new to this, you could put a straight edge in between these lines and trace that out. And you'd be okay. And even if I get a little hacky on this, I know the tricks to make it look good anyway, so it's okay. So that's cut. Boom, boom. Let's get some seam tape. Go ahead and get your tape wall to wall. A little bit hefty. And what you can do, because the tack strip a lot of times will sit lower than the padding, fold the tape under just to bump it up where the tack strip is. Set it at the wall. Same thing, get to the other end. Fold it under. Boom, jam to jam. Now, we got our seam irons been cooking up. We're good to go. Start that at one end. I usually cook my seams really hot, right at 4. If you're new to this, cook it at between 2.5, 3. You don't want to overheat it because you got to move fast. At 4, I usually have it sit for about 8 to 10 seconds. Slide it an iron's length forward. Then make sure you just put the backing to backing. Don't let any of the fibers fall down in the seam because that will create an ugly seam. The goal is to just have the backing meet up on the carpet. Next, another iron's length forward, which takes us to the other side of the door. Just make sure the backing's touching on it. Good to go. We'll go ahead and tuck this side. Now, when you guys slide the iron out, you don't want the tape to come out with it and create a big headache for yourself. So get the ending open a little bit so you're ready to rock. Grab your iron and just slide it, but a lot of times you can leave the bottom part down, sliding that forward. That'll keep the tape down. Set your iron back on the tray. Put the bottom or the balance of your seam together. Make sure the backing's touching on it. If you have any strings popping out on your seam, go ahead and trim those up. And if it feels any bit loose in here, don't worry about it because you still have to stretch this way. So don't let that concern you. The only time you need to be concerned is if that's your final seam, then you would have to kick across the room to tighten up that doorway. But all right, we're good to go here. We need to let this cool down before we stretch across from it. So we're gonna go back to where we started down here. Open up the closet so I got a little room to kick. So stretching the width of the carpet now in the hallway. Next, we've got a drop over the stairs here, so I'll show you how to do that one as well. Right now I'm kicking across. What we got there? What's good? What's good? Sorry, not paying attention to comments yet. I should be, but I'll definitely follow up, watch the video, answer any comments that came across there. Good, bad, and ugly. So now I've kicked all the way up to the point to where I'm directly across from the doorway now. Just got here. Oh, right on. Thanks for dropping by. So I'm directly across from the doorway I just seamed. So I'm gonna stop right here. Give that time to cool still since I just burned it. So let's go ahead and do this transition over the stairs here. I don't know if I can get you a good shot or not, but we will certainly try. I'm gonna finish trimming this in. All right, so we're good to go here. Now, get a shot of that. So here's the hallway, about to drop over the stairs here. I'm gonna try and get you an angle and show you how to stretch up to that, how to tack over the stairs. So I got my electric tacker. See if this outlet works here. Good to go. Got the kicker, got my knife. So right up here to the edge where it's gonna drop over, I wanna make a release cut first. So we got two separate sections going on. Next, where it's gonna fall over the edge, I wanna get a straight line cut so it follows the wall down. And if you're new to this, cut it hefty, because you're gonna have to practice. If you've done it a few times, you know exactly how to trace a line and be good to go. And do the same thing with the other side. I know it's gonna be hard for you to see with me in the hallway as well. But I'm doing the same exact thing. Just a little release cut, and then cutting the section straight that'll be flopping over the edge, or at least straight-ish. Next, we're gonna kick right towards the stairs. Get this section tight. Take your electric tacker, shoot over the edge so it holds your stretch. Now I'm going to catch this wall real quick. Crease it on. Take my knife, we're going to trim and tuck it. And if you're just jumping on, like I said, about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch hefty, tuck it right to the wall. And move you over here. And finish kicking straight across over the edge. Good to go. Stretch the other small side of the wall. Crease it on. And after this, I just have the stairs to do and sweep up the huge mess I made. Other than that, good to go for a Saturday. Alrighty. So we got all this done. Now we are on the last seam of the hallway. I'm gonna go ahead and basically do the same thing, except I'm gonna throw a small stretch on it while I do it as well, just to make sure things are tight. I'll show you how I do that. Set you back a little more so you see what's going on here. There we go. So on the hallway side, the nap is falling down into the room, so I want to start on this side. Trim it down so everything's about ready to be tucked once I'm done. Just go ahead and create a nice clean straight line. And once again, if you're a newbie, use a straight edge for this. If you've been doing this, go ahead and run a line across. You'll know how to put it together. Now I like to make those little incisions all the way down, just spreading the nap, because if you don't spread the nap, it could create a little gap spot, and that's the last thing you want on your seam. I'm just gonna mark it all the way down. And that way when I fold it back, I can see every little slit that I put into the backing here. Just gonna take my knife, trace all these lines, which is the ultimate hack move, but it feels oh so good doing it. And if you don't have a steady hand to do this, put a straight edge in between each one of the little slits you put. That way you make sure you got a straight line, and you'll have a beautiful seam if you do it right. All right, good to go. Got one little string, we're gonna get rid of that. Let's go ahead and get this taped. Fold it back. Once again, tack strip sits a little bit lower. What up, what up? You got shout outs going back and forth on here. So fold the tape under, set it on the tack strip area, take it across, fold it under on the tack strip here. Now we are ready to burn this together. Get the seam iron. Fold it back. Once again, I burn my seams at 4. If you're new to this, start at about 2.5. Take your time, but at 4, you get to act fast, get things done. Let it sit here for 8 to 10 seconds roughly. We're gonna slide it an iron's length forward. Give it another 8 to 10 seconds there, and when we put the seam together, you want to make sure it's just the backing touching on it. Don't let those fibers fall down in there or it will be an ugly seam. You can go ahead and tuck as you go as well, just to make sure everything is held in place. If you have any strings, all that talking, man, you guys knocked it right off of the tripod. Boom, back. There we go. Take the seam iron all the way to the end. Let me get you a better view there. Once again, another 8 to 10 seconds. Then here is the tricky part. For a lot of people when they're starting out, get the end of it open and ready to go. When you slide the iron out, push down on the back of it and kind of slide that forward so it doesn't pull the tape with it. Even though I totally did that right there. Go ahead, put it together. Just make sure it's backing to backing. Blend it in with a tractor or your hands. Tuck the other end. Good to go. So, that's how we went ahead and stretched on a hallway there. I will create additional videos showing all aspects of carpet installation. If you have any questions about the industry, comment below. I'll create a follow-up video answering it for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one.